G'day everyone, thanks for joining me. My name's Nichols, and today I'm going to be talking about the concept that it's not victory that you seek in each moment, it's self-transformation. Now, a lot of the time when you first start in life and a lot of the way through, you really think that what matters is that victory, is that thing that you win. Then over time you realise that what happens is you end up with these situations where you realise there are just a lot of unwinnable battles, and it becomes more obvious that it's not about the winning, it's about the transformation itself. It's about what happens to you in the pursuit of that goal. And pragmatically, the simplest way of looking at that is, look, if you achieve a goal, objective, or attain something, that simply changes a small part of the world temporarily, right? There's certainly some goals that are life-changing, but in principle, every time you achieve or get something out of whatever it is you're doing, it only changes a small part of the world. But the self-transformation changes everything. So in striving for that goal, you attain that discipline, you attain that toughness, a single-minded focus, the ability to focus your attention on a single goal is something that transformed every aspect of your life. And pragmatically, and maybe it's a self-rationalization, but when I look at working and I had these days where I'm like, you know what, I don't think I can actually get through all this. Like, I don't think physically that I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve here. I begin to realize that the only control I have is my disciplined routine. And I get more and more disciplined with, like, when I sleep, what I eat, how I work out, my work routine, even my ergonomics, my posture, my typing, all those sort of things. And I'm beginning to see more of an art form in the work itself, rather than expecting a success each day. Because the truth is, I don't feel like I'm generally successful day to day, but I do feel like those continual series of failures appears to be teaching me something. It appears to be teaching a self-transformation of basically continuously improving, continuously fine-tuning my routines in order to achieve some kind of artistic expression, I guess, or artistic perfection of the routine. And if I was truly successful in every workday, if I felt like I actually achieved some sort of pinnacle of achievement, then there would be no drive to improve my routine each day. There is some truth to the idea that, look, in every failure, something tends to lie behind that, and some success tends to lie behind that. And I think that this obviously depends on the situation, but I'm talking about the most of what our life is. Like, most of the time we're doing informatic work, so most of the time our failures don't have permanent consequences. They are just these informatic failures which might lose us money, might lose procedure, most of the time just damages our pride. And in those sort of situations, like 99% of 5% of failures are obviously of no consequence. And all they tend to do is show you quite strikingly where you could improve in further situations. So in the face of it, almost all the failures seem to suggest obvious lessons that are immediately useful, and so not really failures at all. But even when you look at fighters like in UFC or other MMA fighters, even they tend to treat losses as opportunities for growth. And it seems a fairly universal principle. And even throughout all our lives, like even if we consider the internet to be one of these tools we can use to spread our lessons to everybody else, the truth is it's a failure of a single life. If you know why I failed or succeeded in life, and this is one reason I like doing this channel, even if I fail at life and just totally screw everything up, if I tell you why I failed and explain to you where I went wrong and what you should do differently, I would be content with that. Like, if my entire life was just, like, if my legacy was a failure of a life, like an unhappy life, but 1,000 or 2,000 videos like this explaining where I went wrong, so that the rest of the world can see that and self-serve of that, and learn from that, I would actually consider that overall a successful life, rightly or wrongly, because in the end it means that the human experience, the human condition, the human spirit will soar, because one life is one life, one human is vulnerable, and one human can certainly be crushed by failure, but we can't all be crushed by failure. And if all we do is learn our lesson from our failures and teach those lessons to others, then our spirit will rise, and we'll win as a species, as a collective, as an organization. We will win. So I think that we make the best of that natural compulsion to teach others about our mistakes. I think that's a really important thing to do. And in doing so, there's no real failure. Like, not even the worst failure as a human is truly a failure if you can explain to the world exactly why you failed and what they should do to avoid that failure or to learn from that failure. All right, well, thanks for listening. and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.